Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 2 with now our boss battle against Saïx. And to be perfectly honest, Saïx is one of the more annoying boss battles in the game, primarily because, well, he's an aggressive bitch. I'd hate to see the pillow talk between him and Axel during their younger years because, oh boy. Yes, he makes me gag. He makes me gag so much that I cough up blood, but yeah, Saïx's one unique gimmick is basically his berserker rage. When that mode gets filled, you're just gonna go, grrr, I'm so angry that you took away my boyfriend Roxas, I'm just gonna hit you with my claymore. But in a similar vein to how you can deal with his nobodies via reaction command, you pick up his claymore and you can beat him with it. But yeah, in the meantime we also have, well, I mean, I would say that we have a final form putting the work in, but no. You gotta smack him around for a little bit and then just beat him out of his funk and take him down that way. There we go, now, well, I would say we're putting in work, but yeah, he's incredibly aggressive. I can imagine that Saïx is probably a massive stumbling block when you get on the likes of Critical and Proud mode, but yeah, it's very irritating, it is, and well, I don't know, I just don't find the fight to be very enjoyable, but yeah, it's really nothing more to say on that aspect. I guess to elaborate on a little something more, akin to what I mentioned in the last part about Saïx knowing a little bit more than he let on. Yeah, not that it's really delved into in this game, it's more in 358 over 2 days and Birth by Sleep, but yeah, Axel and Saïx, or Isa and Lee as their human forms used to be known as, yeah, they weren't being all buddy-buddy with Xemnas because they really agreed with his plan, it was more because Xemnas had knowledge about somebody that they knew in the old life. That was basically Saïx's means of, again, getting close to Xemnas, so we could find out what happened to her. Again, we don't exactly know who exactly this person is, although it's obviously going to be somebody from the Union Cross days, as the plot thread in Kingdom Hearts 3 seemed to bring up. But yeah, one of the reasons why Saïx is so catty around, you know, Axel palling around with Roxas and Xehanort was more to do with the fact that, well, again, it seemed like Axel was pretty much moving on and forgetting bits of his old life, whereas Saïx was pretty much in between phases at this point. Again, he was pretty much remaining close to Xemnas in order to get closer to the truth, but, you know, in doing that, he also became, well, a little bit more closer to Xemnas than he would have liked, and as such, pretty much got completely wrapped up into the whole Xehanort stuff that the saga would later progress, and, again, it's difficult to disseminate which exactly is the true Saïx here. Again, is he doing this for legitimate motives, or is part of him being controlled by Xehanort? But again, we'll see all that a little bit later on. In the meantime, it's time to finish off this little bastard for good. By which I mean for the game. He comes back. Spoiler alert. But anyway, Saïx is out of our life.
Why? Kingdom Hearts. Where is my heart?
I don't get it. Why has everybody been calling me Roxas?
Because, Sora, Roxas is your nobody.
My... nobody? But that's crazy. I never turned into a heart... Oh. Right.
It was when you came to rescue me. Remember?
Xemnas was the one who found Roxas. He could use the Keyblade because he was your nobody. That's why Xemnas brought him into the organization. But Roxas betrayed them. After that, I fought him because I thought it would help you wake up. I lost. But the next time we met, I made sure I was the stronger one.
Flashback, and yes, I'm talking over this cutscene because, if you want to see the full unedited version of this one, well, play, or / watch, 358 over 2 days, because it pretty much covers the exact same events, albeit spun in a very different context. again, whether or not Xion was an idea toyed around in Nomura's head or something specifically invented for 358 over 2 days, I can't say for certain, but yeah, the original context for why Roxas and Riku were fighting is purely because, well, Roxas lost his waifu and was very angry and wanted to basically awaken Kingdom Hearts to bring her back. Again, the movie version of 358 over 2 days doesn't make that entirely clear, but that is his primary motivation. Unlock Kingdom Hearts and basically, well, bring him back. As well as basically killing Sora for being the problem of, well, everything that happened.
Why don't you quit?
But yeah, it's all pretty much the same cutscene verbatim. All that's really changed here is that they play The Other Promise, which, again, emotionally impactful song and does work in the context of this scene, in terms of emphasizing Roxas's pure tragedy.
So it's true.
But,
You really are his
yeah,
nobody.
don't really have much more to elaborate on than that. Could let the rest of it play out, but where's the fun in that?
Me. Nobody else.
Well, I suppose I could talk about the addition of Xion in regards to Kingdom Hearts 2, because a lot of people do feel as if that she did actually cheapen some of the scenes in Kingdom Hearts 2, which, again, I do completely understand, because scenes are spun in a completely different context when you're watching this from 358 over 2 days versus Kingdom Hearts 2 Vanilla, which is meant to be emphasizing, you know, the tragedy, oh no, Roxas, you sad boy,
The dark power that I've been holding back.
Oh, by the way, they don't show up specifically in this scene, but yeah, Riku actually has 2 blindfolds on, in terms of his model quality. Maybe not necessarily for that one, since it's done for a specific cutscene, and it might have just been, like, a bit of a blooper they had in Kingdom Hearts 2 Vanilla, but yeah. Pay attention to one of the cutscenes in the next part, it will be quite surprising. But yeah, the reason why Riku was wearing the blindfold at all was, again, like, I mean, the game doesn't really word it specifically, but again, the more he delved into the darkness and used the dark power inside him, the more he was giving himself into Ansem's residual darkness. To the point where it very much corrupted his being and basically, well again, turned him into that. And again, it is something that Riku does continue to struggle with. Even after, you know, certain plot revelations to be seen at the end of the part happen, he's still going to be dealing with this up until at least Dream Drop Distance, where he finally gets a handle on things. And again, I mean, it is part of the reason why a lot of people really like Riku in this series, and why I get in some instances that they try and push him as the main character a little bit more than Sora in some cases, but that's neither here nor there in this case.
Nobody cannot feel anything.
Just like me, Christopher Lee.
If he had met Sora, things might have been different.
In that, he would have fucking killed him. Did you not see the end of 358 over 2 days? You donkey.
Maybe I didn't need to fight him after all. I think he left the organization because he really wanted to meet you.
Roxas. I wish I could meet him too.
All right, let's go.
Whoa, that was wonderful. Good time was had by all. So let's move on to the next organization member to kill. And I suppose that does also bring me up to a bit of a thing actually in regards to the nobodies, because particularly in regards to Sora's outlook on them. Because again, like one of the, I guess, sort of critiques brought up is that again, the nobodies seem to, again, embellish personalities of their own and seemingly have thoughts and feelings independently acted of, you know, their original selves, but at the same time, a lot of people also criticize Sora's, like, staunch anti-nobody policy of, who cares, you're nobodies, you don't have any feelings, so I'm gonna fucking kill you regardless. But I think a lot of it is also justified by context here. The only nobodies that Sora's really met up to this point are people that either wanted to rip his lungs out, or people who have been very skeevy up until they either decided to help him and die, or, you know, were people that he legitimately didn't know about, like in the case of Roxas. So again, I can see why Sora's a little bit more, you know, willing to be competitive towards nobodies, especially when they try and throw logic back in his face that do we not have the right to exist alongside you? Especially considering that it's coming from more obvious villains, but again, that's neither here nor there in this case. And it does sort of set up a bit of a story arc that Coda does eventually pick up on, and even in that case, a lot of what Sora knows about nobodies, at least in terms of what his simplistic mind can grasp, is primarily on what Yensid told him. And even in that case, Yensid, Mickey, and Riku only really knew what they'd experienced in Chain of Memories and 3-5 out over 2 days, so they did have a very limited frame of reference, and people's ideas of what a nobody truly is do grow as the series go on, so yeah, that critique is a little bit, how you'll say, crap. But anyway, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, we have a long cutscene, and yeah, we're gonna be seeing the Master and the Apprentice finally come face to face again, so I'll catch you next time.
Ansem?
I'm a fool. I spent years studying the workings of the heart. Yet it seems I still haven't learned a thing.
What do you mean?
The process of encoding hearts is incalculable. The inhabitants of my twilight town were data created from real hearts. I was convinced that they would think and behave the way I had envisioned, but I couldn't have been more wrong. A heart is so much more than any system. I saw it when Roxas and Kairi crossed paths. I knew, but I was too stubborn to accept it. It's always the same. I try to wrap my mind around things my heart already knows, only to fail. While I was trying to bring Sora back, I had so many plans in store. But once Sora was an acting force, they fell apart. All my research amounted to nothing compared with that one boy's heart.
Ansem, I'm ashamed!
All the more proof that hearts cannot be contained by data. Run, my friend. It's going to self-destruct, and anything could happen.
But, Your Majesty!
Sora, the rest is up to you. And Roxas, I doubt you can hear me, but I am sorry.
Ansem!
My heart is telling me what I must do. Please allow me to do what it says.
No! Riku!
His heart's decided. We can't change that.
I was wondering who would dare interfere with my kingdom hearts. And look, here you all are. How convenient for me. Ansem the Wise. You look pathetic.
Have your laugh. I deserve as much for failing to see you for the fool you are.
Students do take after their teachers. Only a fool would be your apprentice. After all, none of this would have happened without you. You are the source of all Heartless. It was your research that inspired me to go further than you ever dared.
I admit, my disregard brought chaos to more worlds than one. But what were you seeking? You erased me from the world, only to take my name and continue research better left forgotten. Is this the answer you've been looking for?
All that and more. I'm carrying on what you yourself began, and I'm creating a brand new world, one heart at a time. I thought you'd praise me, but all you ever do is hold me back. I understand, though. Unlike me, you have a heart, and you're powerless to control it. Consumed by the jealousy you feel toward the student who surpassed you.
Xehanort, foolish apprentice of a foolish man. You have surpassed nothing, only proved how little we both know. We may profess to know the heart, but its essence is beyond our reach. We're both ignorant, as oblivious as when we began. I'm afraid that any world you try to create, any world of yours, would be an empire of ignorance. That is why you and your creation are destined to fall. We've said enough. Rico, you know what to do. King Mickey, my friend, forgive me. Farewell.